Alright guys, welcome back to another video of Modern. We're going to try a list that used to be the #1 top dog boogeyman in the format and has fallen all but out of favor with the banning of Gentaxian Probe. So we're going to find out if the banning of Gentaxian Probe was actually worse than I think it is with this deck. So we're going to run this through a league. We are running blue-green Infect. So let's talk about this deck a little bit. The land base is I'm going to run 2 Botanical Sanctum, 2 Breeding Pool, 2 Forests, 4 Ink Moth Nexus, 1 Misty Rainforest, 1 Pendle Haven, 4 Windswept East, and 4 Wooded Foothills. A lot of them are running Verdant Catacombs and more Misties, but as far as price goes online, those are a little bit more pricey, and these all fetch every single land in our deck that we want them to anyway. So as far as that goes, I'll just save a little money on that. So as far as the creature package, we're running, pretty standard 4 Blighted Agent, 4 Glistener Elf, and then 4 Noble Hierarchs, which, is pretty standard. It runs a low count of creatures, but Ink Moth Nexus also is another way to turn on Infect and our dudes. So this deck really only needs 1 or 2 guys on the field anyway to win. As far as the spells package, I'm going pretty heavy on the protection spells. This is a list that a buddy of mine ran at Grand Prix Vancouver and Day 2 with. So, I mean, he must be doing something right. I mean, who am I to argue? So, he recommended the 10 main board protection spells, 4 Blossoming Defense, 4 Vines of Astwood, 2 Apostles Blessing. As far as the pump spells go, we have 4 Become Immense, 4 Might of Old Corrosas, 4 Mutagenic Growths, and Blossoming Defense and Vines of Astwood pump as well. So we have 20 pump spells in the deck. As far as like just evasion and counter magic, we have 1 distortion strike and 2 spell pierce in the main board. A lot of decks aren't running spell pierces or weren't running spell pierces in the main; they were running them in the side. But I mean, I think this is a correct call with the amount of removal in the format. You want to just protect your little 1-drop guys. So we're replacing the loss of Gentaxian Probe with Surgical Extraction. Originally, I wasn't really on board with mainboarding these, but even if most decks are running fetch lands, and you're using this for the information anyway, just to find out if your coast is clear to Voltron up your guy and go for the kill, or if it's not, you need to play around removal spells. So this is a pretty good little addition. And I've seen, I've countered something and then exiled that away so they don't have to draw it anymore. So it's pretty good little tech. I'm impressed with it so far. I don't know if 4 in the main is correct, but I mean, 3 is definitely a decent number. So onto the sideboard, we got a little bit of variety here. We have 1 Spell Skite in the sideboard for, a lot of the problems with, removal spells and things of that nature. We've got 1 Kitchen Finks to hedge against the little burn matchups a little bit. 1 Viridian Corruptor for Affinity and Chalice decks. 1 Gut Shot, again, for affinity decks, and the mirror match and Infect hits as well. 2 Dismembers for the bigger decks like Eldrazi and Tron and Eldrazi Tron even and things like that. Twisted Image comes in against the decks that run Spell Skites just to make them 4/0s and kill them. 3rd copy of Spell Pierce for the control magic decks. 2 more Dispels for counter magic and removal, and also these are good against burn as well. And the cool thing, we have this one is a single copy of Wild Defiance. This makes every burn deck more favorable to us because they can't kill our guys. It's like every time they target it, we get a buff. So if they try to lightning bolt it, they can't really lightning bolt our guys. It's pretty good. So, but I mean, a single copy is okay. We don't want too many of them just to flood out on them. But I mean, 1 is all good, and it says any instant or sorcery. So if we target our guys with like just non-pump protection spells, they get the buff of +3/+3. So it's pretty sweet. Okay, well, that's the deck. Let's go ahead and run it through a league and let's see how it fares. See you back for round 1.